This is a demonstration of SciGlass's artificial intelligence and technology. Our tools allow the network security investigator to identify actors and behaviors in the network that constitute areas of concern. Our AI scans and analyzes the network flow to seek out and report suspicious and potentially threatening behaviors in the network. In this demonstration, we are going to examine a smart alert that has identified suspicious probing or reconnaissance activity. Probing or reconnaissance activity is the act of searching for potential victims in a network for a future attack. An attacker's goal in this type of probing and reconnaissance is to collect information such as IP addresses, open ports, operating system types and versions, that could help identify and prioritize weak systems in a network. It may also help an intruder to map the target network. This activity is often a precursor to a hacking assault. Starting with the Summary tab, we can determine the source of the behaviors that caught AI's attention and the actual behaviors of concern. The first card identifies the major actor who is performing the probing and reconnaissance on the network. In this case, the network is being scanned by 192.168.1.13, located in the Engineering Production Group. The What to Look For text will provide a starting point for our investigation. Let's look at the noted behaviors that AI has identified as a cause for concern. The first is a collection of horizontal port scans. Use the key indicators on the horizontal port scan card and behavior map to determine the internal organization and IP addresses scanned, the ports or ranges of ports that were scanned, and if there were any successful connections established. The behavior count over a time bar chart shows the frequency of occurrence of the horizontal and vertical port scans. By clicking on the vertical port scan button, we can deselect the vertical port scan entries and focus on the horizontal port scan counts and occurrences. Now we will drill down into the horizontal port scan by clicking on the horizontal port scan tab. The major actor accessed 6,518 unique internal destination IPs, mainly on port 0. The flows showed that 26.30% of the targets did not respond, 0.03% of the targets responded with no further traffic, and 73.67% of the targets responded with data packets exchange. Determine if the key ports and corresponding protocols in the detected scan are part of the regular activity of an authorized service or application, or if they may be probing or reconnaissance activity performed by expected penetration testing tools. Check the behavior table to see what other ports were used during communication to indicate the activity of a known application. For example, if port 161 was not scanned but it was used for network printing, communication may include also ports 9100, 137, 138 or 139. Investigate the major actor and the destination organizations to determine how trustworthy they are. If the connection error rates are higher than the baseline, there is a greater risk of this being malicious activity. If error rates are very low, the major actor most likely already knows of the systems it is communicating with. This may still be malicious activity, or could be an authorized application. At the bottom of this window we will find a table of horizontal port scan behaviors. Click on the first behavior to examine it in a drawer that pulls out from the right-hand side of the window. The horizontal port scan drawer provides detailed information about the selected behavior. In particular, it will provide a distribution of ports scanned by the major actor. Next we will examine the vertical port scans that were noted. Focus on the identity of the source of the scan, the major actor. Since this scan was conducted from an internal IP, you can research who performed the scan, and why. If the scan was conducted by an IT admin for general network discovery, then likely no more needs to be done. If the behavior was triggered by an application service, do additional inspection on the source and destination ports in the scan. As shown before, clicking on the horizontal port scan button will isolate the vertical port scan instances by time of occurrence and counts. At the bottom of this window we will find a table of vertical port scan behaviors. Click on the first behavior to examine it in a drawer that pulls out from the right. This drawer shows the data flow map of this particular behavior. 192.168.1.13 is the major actor and 192.168.50.45 is the target being probed. The map shows the components of the probe,